Today I'm going to be playing some Lock and Load Hunter, because yesterday I actually played against this deck a couple of times. I saw a list posted on the competitive Hearthstone subreddit, so it seems like something that's gaining a little bit of traction. And if you didn't know, when Lock and Load was added to the core set, it actually got buffed. It used to cost 2 mana, now it costs 1. I've played a lot of Lock and Load in the past, and it was always garbage. So I'm interested to see if it's playable now that it costs 1 less mana. So to support the Lock and Load, we've of course got a bunch of cheap spells, and Kolkar Pack Runner. Kolkar Pack Runner has proven itself to be a really good card in Face Hunter, so it should be even better in a deck that plays even more cheap spells. We've also got the new Serpent Bloom, which works really nicely with the Kolkar Pack Runner, and Resizing Pouch, which if you play this with 0 mana left, there are only 3 0 mana cards that can be offered to you, including Serpent Bloom. So this deck effectively plays 4 copies of Serpent Bloom. Our win condition in this deck is a Jewel of N'Zoth package with 2 Teacher's Pet, Tail and Forward Ring, Zixor, and 2 Warsong Wranglers. And we've also got a Yogg-Saron at the top end, since we probably will be playing 10 spells when we're going through Lock and Load turns. I think the list I came up with is pretty standard, but I did add Professor Slate, which gives your spells poisonous. So that's pretty good with Wound Prey, it's pretty good with Overwhelm, and then it should be good with things that we can get off Lock and Load as well. So I think Professor Slate should be pretty reasonable. Good old Priest.
Victory for the Forsaken.
So what do we actually keep off the mulligan? Probably not tracking, right? I am against Priest, I have to keep that in mind. So I probably want like Warsong Wrangler. I want Mancrick. I don't know, I just don't want these cards, I'm pretty sure. Carrion Studies is pretty good on turn 1, actually. So I did find the Pack Runner, but I don't think I need to hold Carrion Studies. I play enough spells, and I don't think the Pack Runner is even especially good against Priest. Can just play a Porcupine next turn, the others are kind of garbage, so seems to make sense.
You don't pick the wrong snake.
Okay, there's a Lock and Load. So I can pretty easily play 4 spells with my Lock and Load here. I could also go Pack Runner, Lock and Load, coin something.
Victory is in my
Is 2 cards out of Lock and Load good enough? Probably not against Priest, right? I want a big Lock and Load turn.
The moment.
So let's just try to find something else to do. Warsong Wrangler's really good. I hit Teacher's Pet next turn, and then I just play 2 6/6s in a row. And then that's actually 3 Death Rattles for Jewel of N'Zoth whenever I can find that. Although maybe I take Zixor. Zixor is probably the better thing to be reviving in this matchup.
Got me fired up. Now we're cooking.
Alright, well I drew Zixor anyway.
Hungry, aren't ya?
So let's take the Teacher's Pet line. Maybe I play Kolkar Pack Runner next turn, because this trade is not super good for me, honestly. But I guess if they heal it up to 5, then I'm pretty happy to just play a 6/6 into it. Serpent Bloom's a pretty good pickup. that one's really good. This can value trade here. Alright, let's go for a lock and load turn.
The moment is upon us.
Jewel of N'Zoth is just good, right? Although I could play the Overwhelm this turn.
I have no time for games.
Wow, this is a really good turn to generate a Blood Herald. What does this Guardian Animals do? Nothing? Yeah, I've drawn both Teacher's Pet and Zixor. What an insane Hysteria. Oh cool, I got a Jewel of N'Zoth anyway. So I've played Porcupine, Teacher's Pet. The Teacher's Pet dropped this, so not a Death Rattle. I think I just want to play 2 Zixors going into my Jewel. Also, this Scrap Shot's going to be really good if I have multiple Zixor Primes I can draw into. Wandmaker, Scorpid, the Crimson Hothead. Not really too worried about any of those. Cotobane. I haven't drawn Mancrick, so I'm not really in a big hurry to play this. I can just trade this off, Jewel, and then I always get a Zixor, which I can just trade off to kill this. I think I like that line. Beautiful. The one I missed was Porcupine, which was definitely my worst Death Rattle.
You've got me fired up. Now we're cooking.
Acknowledge the stars.
Okay, that's a strong Xyrella. But I feel like Xyrella is pretty much always good against me. I got a Mukla. Well, there's Zixor Prime. What does Scrap Shot do? It does target a beast. So I can just play Teacher's Pet Scrap Shot here. Then I always buff my big Prime minion.
Vengeance.
I don't really want to play Maxima while I have Zixors or Yogg in deck.
The path is clear for the worthy.
It's pretty tempting to play Zixor Prime here, but it does seem like it probably gets Soul Mirrored. Although my opponent killing this here makes playing it a lot better. Could play a smaller Zixor. I would just trade off the full Zixor into these, and then I have Monkey plus Snake. If I play Zixor Prime, I can value trade both of these, and I still have a full board.
Vengeance.
I guess it's good to play this. And then, if I get Soul Mirrored here, then I just play the other Zixor into an empty board, right? Playing the smaller Zixor here didn't force an AoE to give me an empty board to play the bigger Zixor. Yeah, so this is pretty expected, but it can be easily handled. 1919. Talon draws Yogg. I could have traded my snake instead of one of the 4/4s. Might have been worth it, but I don't know. This having poison sometimes is kind of nice. And it pushed 2 damage. There's Professor Slate, but I don't have any of my damage spells. I've actually played all of my damage spells already, which is unfortunate. Oh, I can kill this with Tame Beast. I was looking at my hand and it was like kind of hard to deal with that, but Tame Beast makes a lot of sense. If I didn't get AoE'd last turn, I'm not going to play around it this turn. Alright, there's the board clear. It might be time for the Blood Herald. Not even 30 power. Well, combined it's 30 power, right? So that's still good. So we're trying to dodge Shadow Word Death, Shadow Word Rune, Soul Mirror. Wave of Apathy on its own is not too bad. Do I play Crazed Alchemist in this deck? I don't. That's unlucky. Sure. I'll play this for damage. I could play Slate here. I would just be hoping to generate a card that works with it if I hold on to it. Alright, we're still trying to dodge the same cards as last turn. But if it's Shadow Word Death or Shadow Word Rune, I actually have a reasonable amount of pressure. Another Wave of Apathy. I guess Against All Odds is also something they could pick up. They probably play Against All Odds if they play double Wave of Apathy, so I'm getting pretty lucky. So what does my deck look like? I have 11 cards, including Olgra, so 10 real cards in my deck. Yogg, 2 Zixors, Warsong Wrangler to draw Zixor, and Jewel. And then I guess even like Resizing Pouch is a good late game card. Tame Beast is a 6/6, Carrion Studies can get a late game card. So basically my entire deck is good draws at this point. And my opponent might just even be dead before I need any of those draws. Ooh, both Wave of Apathy down. Wave number 3. Okay, they whiffed. Nice. So we pretty much just dominated that priest the entire game.
Victory for the Forsaken.
I don't think I want to keep any of this. Probably just play Tempo Dungar next turn, right? Oh, it's Control Warrior. Interesting. Let's go for damage against Control Warrior. I don't know if it's good, but I'm gonna do it. I think I'm just chilling here. I would love to draw a Kolkar Pack Runner with this hand. My opponent doesn't feel very Control Warrior-y. Hey, that's a good draw. Double Tent Trasher. Oh, that's a good one. And Wound Prey is also a good one. I'm so dumb. This only has poisonous if I don't play the Baroque. Well, okay, we're gonna take this turn in a slightly different direction. And we're gonna spin to the Serpent Bloom. Are there any other cards that work the same as the snake? Where it has an ability that, like, toggles on and off depending on the board state? I'm just looking for an excuse why I'm so bad at playing with it. If it's one of a kind, I can sleep better tonight. Okay, well, if the snake just straight up eats a minefield, that's not too bad. I guess I will be locking and loading this turn. Although, I only have room for 3 cards in my hand, and these all make new cards. I guess lock and load puts me down 1, though.
The moment is upon us.
That Rhino's pretty good. Oh, it's a Pack Runner. I probably want Warsong Wrangler, though. It's just a good card, and it fuels my Jewel.
The moment is upon us.
That's an interesting card. Talon draws Yogg.
I have no time for games.
Never known you could need a Professor Slate. Wow, resizing pouch for 1 is terrible. Remind me not to play that again. So Leorox summons 3 beasts from my hand. It can summon a Trampling Rhino, maybe a Teacher's Pet, and then like a Scavenging Hyena. That's pretty good. Eat 12 damage. Wow. Oh wait, I only have 1 Teacher's Pet in my deck? When did I play a Teacher's Pet? It was turn 5,
Is in my grasp.
I think. Well, we're gonna draw each of our beasts here. And then probably just play Leorox next turn.
In my folly, I have sown chaos.
That's annoying. Well, I'm not playing Leorox if they don't deal with my board at all. get hero powered. Okay, so I played one of my beasts here, but Leorok still has 3 to play from my hand. Teacher's Pet is the best one to play here because it is a little bit resilient against AoE.
Pain means little to me now.
The dark moon lives! Adventure and excitement await!
That is powerful. It's nice to not have to worry about that combo anymore. Although, to be honest, there's a 0% chance I would have specifically played around at this game.
Made to fit.
Wound Prey. It's pretty good with Professor Slate.
Vengeance is near.
Although green is very good. Or very bad.
Alright, so we want to kill Armorsmith. I think I'm just going to play Trampling Rhino here.
Let none.
I have no time for games.
Feel my pain. Adventure awaits. Feel my pain.
Should have put more thought into playing Carrion Studies, but I might just want to hold it for Lock and Load. Or if I want to play Leorox next turn, I can play Carrion Studies and dig for something. Sure. It does look like I want to play Leorox here. That's definitely a whirlwind. So what does Jewel of N'Zoth do? I've played 2 Teacher's Pets, but I haven't played Talon or Zixor. I haven't played a Carrion Studies, so I'm pretty sure this only hits 2 Teacher's Pets. Let's just see what Carrion Studies can get for me here. This is pretty terrible, but Disguised Wander is a threat, so I probably take it. And then I will just play a very sad Leorox.
To struggle is to survive.
I guess I could Resizing Pouch for Poisonous here. I can try to get more value out of it. Even if I kill this, then they just use the weapon to kill my hyena, so it doesn't really matter. N'Zoth without getting fresh? Oh, they had a beast with a bear shark anyway. Where did the bear shark come from? The teacher's pet they stole. Oh, I actually don't get the second teacher's pet because they stole it. That's right. Well, I need to deal with this board. Pretty sure this is a sad 2-minion Jewel. I guess I want to kill this one. I still have a lot of really good draws in my deck. Yogg, I'm gonna have 2 Zixors, Jewel, Talon. I do have a few stinkers as well, though. But even Tame Beast is still a 6/6 with Rush, so not bad. So this does 4 damage here, which is unfortunately less than 5.
Vengeance is near.
So I could go Overwhelm here and then play Resizing Pouch for an 8-drop. Or I can just Resizing Pouch for a 9. I do have Explosive Trap in play, so I shouldn't be too worried about damage from these 2 minions. But it's kind of nice to kill Crush here and break a weapon charge. The real question is, are 8-drops and 9-drops like significantly different in power? Could hit King Crush on 9. That's probably pretty likely.
No time for games.
I think the 9-drops are probably enough better that I don't want to play Overwhelm. Wow. Man, that was a tough decision, actually. All of those were really strong. Malagos drew Jewel of N'Zoth and like a bunch of crap to make it easier to draw my other power cards. So Malagos was really, really tempting. But the Onyxia is just so many stats every turn. It's like Onyxia is a bigger threat, but Malagos lets me accelerate my other threats, if that makes sense. Am I getting Blade Stormed here? Kind of seems like it. Oh. Alright.
Armor made to fit.
Do I want to Overwhelm just to kill this? I do have another Lock and Load in my deck, so probably not.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be amazed.
So they for sure drew another Sword Eater. And a Scrap Golem. So either this card is Alexstrasza or Sword Eater, or they don't play Alexstrasza. I would really love for my opponent to not play Alexstrasza in their deck. I think I'm just going to play the Pack Runner here. It's not great, but it does let me do a bit of clearing. I'm just going to hope that I never draw the second copy of Lock and Load this game. Man, Lock and Load is the worst draw in my deck by like so much. I'm happy that my opponent had to invest an entire card into killing my 9/1. Tame Beast. Yeah, I'd probably just play it. My opponent has been holding on to this Neralex Dream card for a while. Probably a good chance of it being Nightmare, although I haven't really been paying attention for specific situations where Nightmare would have been good. I don't think it's ever one of the minions. Not the best Zixor I've ever seen, but still gives me a clear and 2 4/4s that survive. Sure. Beautiful.
This is not what we stood for. Rotten to the core.
Well, Lock and Load is the worst card in my deck, but this was probably the best turn to draw it, so that's cool, I guess. Am I yogging on an empty board? I really don't like yogging on an empty board. It makes the mind control useless. It makes, even like the one that generates all the spells in your hand is a lot worse because you don't have anything to target. Makes the summon one worse. I'd be giving my opponent 7 minions. I'd only be getting 5 off the battle cry. I mean, I only have 2 cards left in my deck. I could save Lock and Load Carrion Studies for the Jewel of N'Zoth turn, just to squeeze out extra value.
Let none survive.
I'll be extra greedy. I don't really know how my opponent can have this many cards in their hand that aren't playable. I guess they're just all removable, and it's not great to remove here.
I am low on cards.
Let's go value. I mean, Teacher's Pet is just the best card here. It's a little bit hard to play with the mana. Could play like Bloated Python along with Zixor, but probably just take the best card. Alright, got a Zixor, nice. So I greeted my Lock and Load, and I got a King Crush and a Porcupine off of it. That's pretty worth.
Armor! Armor! Lightly used armor.
When it's at 17, I'm showing 11. King Crush, I was counting my hero power, so King Crush is kind of only 6.
I am out of cards.
So I do not have lethal with King Crush here, right? One, 3, 6, 14. Let's just play some other stuff. I am super not worried about a 1-3, right? I haven't seen a Brawl yet. Okay, Barov also makes sense. Maybe they... Oh, Rancor. Yikes. I still have a pretty scary board, though, honestly. Oh, no, those die. Okay, yeah.
I am out of cards.
Well, play some 4/4s. My opponent has 4 cards left. One of them is a Narrowlex card still. I think it still could be any of the spells, really. Maybe it couldn't be Ysera Awakens. Well, you're dead. I hope you're proud. How about we Yogg for fun? Should we Yogg for fun? There's a very real chance that I cast Backfire and die here. Oh, that's kind of sick.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, hit mana off that. Acrobatics. Oh, Consecrate. I was starting to get worried.